You can hear me, right? Okay. So students, today we are here to discuss about the mini project. Okay. So now still I have not uploaded the mini project question to the LMS yet, right? But I will upload it today. So I am going to explain what you are supposed to do, right? Students, this mini project is very important, right? Let me share my screen with you all first. Mr. Salim,
Yes, Dr. Ushima.
is it possible for you to record the session?
Sure, yeah. I will record it.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Okay, students, so I welcome you all to the mini project discussion. First of all, I'm going to highlight the importance of carrying out this mini project for this course, right? Now, if you check the course synopsis of this software engineering concepts and programming course, you'll understand that, let's move to this place, the mini project. See here, the mini project component. If mini project is less than 40, right? I hope you all can see this. If mini project is less than 40, then your continuous assessment mark would be considered as 0. Okay. So I'm highlighting this because last year, some of the students have done all the activities other than the mini project. Then the students ask why we have not got eligibility, although we have done other activities and got good marks. So it doesn't work like that. Always, for each subject, there is an overall continuous assessment mark. Okay. So this overall continuous assessment mark is calculated according to the given criteria for each course. Now for this course, 3467, the criteria is best CAT, from CAT and OQ the best, from mini project 0.3, from lab evaluation, that's average lab evaluation point, from that 0.3, and from TMS, that's also average 0.2, right? But that will be counted. Keep in your mind this, please take down, if you will forget, that if mini project is greater than or equal to 40 only. Otherwise, if you get less than 40 for the mini project, your continuous assessment mark will be 0. That means you are considered as a student who will have to repeat this course next year. Okay, so I'm going to explain the consequence of this. If you do not get eligibility for this course this year, then next year you will be in a big trouble because you will have only very few subjects to study next year. And you will have to pay for this course again. And you will have to do all the activities again for this course. Although you did lab, TMS, you will have to do all these activities again. Do all activities again because you are considered as a repeat student. And also, next year there won't be not much courses for you to do. Maybe only 1 or 2. Not much courses next year. Okay. First of all, Did you all understand this? How important it is to do the mini project and score 40 or more than 40. Did all of you all understand that?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Right? It is highly important. If you have any doubt, talk to me and ask now. Okay? So remember, doing this EE3467 means it's not doing only the lab work. You can get 100 for labs, but if you get 0 for mini project, you are a repeat student. You can get hundreds for TMS. If you get for the mini project 35, you are a failed student. Repeat student. 35, even 39, even fail, repeat, right? So you have to get 40, right? Okay, so now you know how important it is to do the mini project. Got it? Everyone understood, right? If you don't understand, you have to ask me, right? Then I'm going to explain one other thing. That is, when you are supposed to submit this, right? I will explain all these things, then explain the question and how to answer, how to give answer to the question also I'm going to explain to you, okay? Now, before I start that, let me okay, so one student wants me to explain it again. Right, let's explain this one again, because I don't want you all to skip, like fail. If you like, it's like this, you can do the subject, you might fail, but deliberately if you skip one thing, like then it's a waste of 1 year, right? So that's why you have to know, because for this course 3467 course, this is the criteria, right? Even if you miss one lab, that's fine, because it's the lab average. Even if you miss one TMA, if you do the other TMA very well, you might get good marks. It depends on how you perform, isn't it? Even the CAT, it's taken the best CAT. So you can, if you miss one CAT and you do the other CAT very well, you might get, I mean, if you don't do it very well, obviously you will repeat the course. But if you do all the components properly, you can get the eligibility or the continuous assessment mark more than 40. However, your mini project should be greater than or equal to 40. If and only if your mini project is greater than or equal to 40, you will be considered as a and your X value should also be greater than or equal to 40. Then only you will be considered as an eligible student. So students, remember, it's not only this getting more than or equal to 40 that is not the criteria. No, getting X also should be greater than or equal to 40, and mini project also should be greater than or equal to 40. So for this course, so other courses, there may be other criteria. So read them and see. For 3467 course, the first criteria is X should be greater than or equal to 40, and mini project should be greater than or equal to 40. Okay, right. So now let's say you get less than 40 for the mini project, but you get 100 for your TMAs. You get 100 for your lab. You get 100 for your CAT. But still, if you have got less than 40, that means maybe 39, maybe 35, maybe 0, then you are considered as a repeat student. Okay. So if this is the case, right? If this is the case, if you are a repeat student, what are the consequences? You will have to do the course next year. What do you mean by that? First, you have to pay for this course again. Then you have to do all activities. That means sit for all the lab tests again, sit for the CATs, do the assignments, and again the mini project as well. Okay, so you have to do all the activities. And also next year, you will have only very few courses to study. Very few courses to study. Those are the things that will happen if you repeat this course and you keep it for the next year. You will repeat the course next year, right? So make sure that you do this activity very well. Yeah, students, I think, Hafsa, you didn't attend the study session? Didn't you attend the study session, what that in the EFIL? By now you should know this. You take you should know how to read this one by now, because I'm the one who did. I did it with Miss Savitri for both for your batch, the study session. I explained this one with calculations, right? With the CAT, if it is, so you take CAT or the OQ, get the best one and multiply it by 0.2. Plus from mini project, you multiplied by 0.3. Lab evaluation, average lab evaluation multiplied by 0.3. Calculate average TMA multiplied by 0.2. By now you should know. So you can go and check that one on the learner support. There is a video about the study system. So in that one we have explained, right? So that's why if you all don't know those things, that's why you get into trouble. Okay? Okay, so that's enough about this criteria. Then let me explain to you all about this. When you have to submit this. Right. So now here, questions related to EFIL, please don't post it here. Talk to the person that you have, or the EFIL coordinator, okay? No, you can't get the lab test results just now. Don't ask questions like that here on this chat, okay? Because now when the lab marks are ready, they will be displayed to you all, right? So ask questions related only to the mini project. Okay, EEX3467. Now the mini project, today we are going to have the discussion. No? So then after that, the mini project submission is on Friday, 31st March. Let's hope there won't be any issues in the country and no strikes and all. Then Friday, 31st March, you have to submit the mini project report. Remember, students. So take down these things that you have your notebook now for 3467. I've asked you to maintain a separate notebook. So in that one, please take down this mini project due date report. Then the Viva will be starting from Sunday, the 2nd April. So you can't submit mini projects later. Right? You can't submit the mini project later because mini project Viva will be completed by 7th April and you will have your eligibility and all the other things. Then you have to get ready for your final exam. Right? Therefore, you have to submit the mini project on this day. If you submit on the next day, there will be some marks reduced, but somehow when this mini project Viva is taken, you have to give the mini project Viva to the lecturers after the submission of the report. So this is the due date. Okay. Right. Then that's about the due date. So you have to submit the given date. Right. Now let's move to the question. So some of y'all want, okay, yes, some of y'all want me to explain about what a Viva is. So Viva is like this. Viva is where you submit your work, right? Whatever the report you submit, and Viva work is, if we call it Viva work, that means we have to, it's like an interview, but we don't call it whatever that you submit on the report. From that, there will be a Viva work. That is, it's like an interview, but we don't call these things interviews. The correct term to use is a Viva work. For academic purposes, usually, it's like this, where you will have to maybe online, maybe on site, depending on the number of students that will submit this. Last year we had it online, and for some students on site. So it depends on we will inform you. However, if you are going to do it online, you will have to switch on your camera and you can't have anyone else with you. You have to face this like a interview, like let's say you go for a job interview, same way. But here we are not going to ask you anything else, only about the mini project that you carried out. So mini project, it may be questions from the report or maybe questions that to check your knowledge. I will give you the guideline. So when you are asked the question, you have to give it the answer at the same time. You can't take time to think. So Pereira, you are asking, will you give us some time? No time will be given. When the question is asked, at the same time, you have to give the answer. If you did the mini project on your own, obviously you can answer. No, you don't have to ask anyone, right? No time will be given. If time will be given, that means you may be copying from someone. Right? So we will not give you any time. You can't chat and ask someone, what is the answer for this? Right? You have to give the answer at the same time. So if you don't give in 1 minute, the marks will be cut for that and we'll move to the next one because you know that your batch, we have around 900 students. And anyways, Vivas are like that, where we ask you, and if you don't know the answer, so someone else can't give answers to the mini project that you carried out now. So if you carried out the mini project, you will be able to answer it better than others, isn't it? Okay. I hope, Pereira, you got the answer that you were looking for. Right. Then the question. Right. So now, this is the question for the mini project. There is some small things that I need to fix. After that, this will be available in the LMS, right? So we'll start from the beginning. Answers to the mini project report should be uploaded to the Dropbox provided in the LMS. Now, don't go and check the Dropbox now because it's not opened yet, right? You have more than 1 month, more than 1.5 months to carry out this mini project. See, can you understand how important it is? It's not like assignment or a lab. It's very important, right? One thing that I should add, remember, even if you get 100 marks for a mini project, if you don't do labs, TMAs and CATs, and you fail, your X value is less than 40, still you are a repeat student. Okay, so don't do only the mini project as well. You have to do all the activities, right? So then Answers to the mini project should be put into the Dropbox. Copying among students and or from online other resources are strictly prohibited. If found, a 0 mark will be given for the mini project. Yes. So if you search the internet, the web, right, you will get answers, similar answers, because people outside, they may also have carried out projects like this and put up. There are lots of answers out there. But if you put those answers, you will get a 0 mark, right? And then don't ask us why we got 0, right? Answers should be clear and copied or direct reproduction from textbooks will not get any points for the answers. So, and I have highlighted here, to get the eligibility for this course, or that means OCAM, right? Overall Continuous Assessment Mark, gaining a mark of 40 or more for the mini project is required, right? And attending the Viva walk is compulsory. And if you do not attend, marks of the mini projects will not be allocated. Okay. Now, by now you may understand that for the mini project, there are two things. The first thing is the report, right? And the second thing is the Viva walk, right? So report, you should submit by 31st March, right? So I will tell you what you should include in the report. You should submit the report and you should sit for the Viva, right? And also for both these, you should get the required marks greater than or 40, then only you will pass. Is this clear up to now, students? Shall I explain the question now? Are there anything else to discuss? Okay, right. Let's move to the question. Now, for the mini project, you need to analyze and design a software solution using object-oriented design principles for an inventory system at a local boutique or a shop, right? Now, I will explain the question and then I'll show you in the book, in the study material that is given to you, how a similar question is addressed, okay? Right, so now for this, you have to use object-oriented design principles. Now, we all know that structured design principles, you all have already learned that, isn't it? Now, we all know that we are going to have an on-site session on algorithms, isn't it? That will be structured design principles, right? Now, here we are going to talk about the object-oriented design principles. In the day school 3, during the day school 3, I gave an introduction for that. And I explained to you all that when we do the day school 4, we will draw use case diagrams and all the and learn about the object-oriented design principles very clearly, isn't it? So, the answer that you have to come up with is not using structured design principles, but object-oriented design principles, right? But you don't have to wait till day school 4 to go and collect data. Right? Now, even today, if you can start the work. Because before you design a solution, what do you have to do? Can someone tell me? In the software design lifecycle method, before you design a solution, what do you have to do, students? Let's ask all of you whether you all can remember.
Information gathering.
Very good. So we have to gather information, no? So we have to carry out the requirements elicitation phase, right? Then we have to analyze them. So before we come to design, so by the time that you do the day school 4, you can complete data collection and do the requirement analysis. Okay, right. So let's back here. You need to visit your selected local boutique or a shop physically to familiarize with the current system in the place that you selected. Okay. Right. Now, first of all, you need to learn how an inventory system works. Okay. So for this, you can ask, right? First of all, you need to select one place that you are going to. Let's say you select a small boutique that don't select a very small place that like, but you have to have a place where they have some goods, right? So where they want to keep an inventory system, right? So you can visit some place. It doesn't have to be the next door boutique, but you can select any medium size one, right? There. So what you have to do is, first of all, visit the place and then familiarize with the current system. Now you have learned many things for that. What are the ways that you can familiarize? Can someone give me an answer for that question? How can you get familiarized with the current system? We discussed this last time during the day school 3. Yes, that's like observing, isn't it? Yeah, so we can observe how the things work, not how they sell the stuff, but then the how they maintain the inventory. Then you can interview, right? So before you conduct an interview or come up with a focus group or give some questionnaire, before that you can just simply observe also, right? And then you can select, you have to identify the stakeholders. Stakeholders means the ones who are interested in this system. So you identify the stakeholders of the system. Then you may select one requirement elicitation method. Interviews, questionnaire, focus group, and gather the requirements of the system to be developed. Right? Now, when you are getting details, now we have worked with students for many years, so we know how students gather these details. So you go and then you get the details from the shop owner, and then in order to prove that you did it, right? It is required that you get a signed, you submit a signed document from the shop owner or a responsible person from the shop. Did you understand that? Now, if that document is not there, you will lose some marks, right? So you have to get, like, you prepare a questionnaire, right? And then you get the answers, you get the signature. Okay? Yes. No need of the stamp, but then it's like this stamp. Some people, they don't have in Sri Lanka, no? Isn't it? Yeah, but you have to have the name, the telephone number of the person, because we are going to double check whether you have all actually collected data from this person. Right? So we might contact them, like not me. We have, we have project assistants, right? So we want to check whether you have all actually collected data, right? So students, you must remember, we are training you all to do an actual project. Take up actual project, collect data. You will learn next year that you have a software design in group project where you will have to do these ones and do a complete project only for, that is the course. The objective of the course is doing a development. In the development, you can't do the development without gathering requirements. To gather requirements, how to do it, you're not going to learn that when you do the design project. Here you have to learn it. Get the exposure now. Okay? So, what you have to do is prepare a questionnaire, go to the place, get the answers, and if you are not satisfied, you can again go to another place. That's okay. However, you have finally, whatever you are going to submit, get the signature, the telephone numbers, that's the contact details, the names and all the things. If you can get a seal, that's good. Otherwise, it's okay. But remember, don't ask your friends to sign, right? So those things are not going to work because there is one way or other we are going to find it out, right? Okay.
Excuse
You
me.
have to get a letter signed by them. Yes.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Madam, the place we are selecting, should they have a computer-based system?
No, they don't have to have. Actually, if they don't have a computer-based system, it's very good.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
It's very good if they don't have a system. The reason that I'm saying is then you can. No, don't think about a very big company. Don't go for, like Pereira, you are asking about CBL. Don't go there. They have systems, well-defined systems, well-prepared by software engineers. Don't go for places like that. You have to go to a place where they don't have a very big system already in place. If it is a very small place without a computerized system, that's good. It doesn't have to be a very small place where they don't have goods. They have to have goods. So it's like a sort of a small scale business place, a shop without a software system in place. Yeah, a DVD shop, that's a very good thing. Grocery. Yeah, so that you will learn, Nashin. That's why I'm going to explain. You have to do that project on your own. If I say to give you all the requirements, then no point. You have to collect it. But I will explain to you how and what requirements, similar things, right? We are going to discuss about a similar project today, okay? Yeah, separately. Because we are going to get only the requirements gathering, so we can have a separate, you can submit in a separate paper, like the letter, and get the signature. So because you will be submitting only a soft copy, scan the document and attach it to the report. Amani, that what I mentioned here is you have to get a letter from the shop owner or from any responsible person from the shop that you are going to collect data, saying that you physically came to this place and collected data in order to prepare this activity. Right, that you collected data from them, like interview questionnaire, right? Okay, and the interview questions also should be included, right? You can't just give a letter and then, you can select a grocery shop, phone shop, electronic shops, yes. No, Asha, can't explain in Sinhala because then there will be students who will not understand Sinhala, right? And then it's a disadvantage for them, right? So listen very carefully, take down what I say, right? I try to explain very slowly, right? So that you can take down what I say, then you can translate and see. Yes, a cafe would be okay, very good. A cafe is a good example, yes.
Ma'am, when we select the method, if we select the interview method, then
Yes.
then those questions in that particular document.
Yes, you have to put those interviews in the question that document.
Only the questions, ma'am, or the answers to the questions.
Question and answers.
Answers, right.
So, students, it's like this. Even if you collect, no, don't go for a school system. Don't go for a school system. That is too much because we want only. So I have written here, no, school system. School is not a shop, no, isn't it? Who is the student who's asking? School is not a shop. You have to have a local boutique or a shop. In the school, if there is a bookshop, then it's okay. Isn't it? Right?
Excuse me, ma'am. Can we use a pharmacy system?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Pharmacy? Can we use a pharmacy as a requirement?
Pharmacy is fine, yes. Pharmacy is fine. Printers also, you have to be careful, Jonathan. You have to go there. Okay, so who is this asking? Shihab. All the information will be there on the announcement section. Don't worry. I told you we are having a discussion session now. After we discuss, that's why we have the discussion session now. After we discuss, from whatever you tell, if there is anything that I want to highlight, I would include those things. Let's say you are asking the same question. So then I will put that to this information sheet and then put it on the LMS. Do you understand? Obviously, I'm going to put it on the LMS. Otherwise, how can you know these things? Your question will be posted. This is a discussion session. But I'm not going to, these things, whatever that you want, you have to have letters and all. I'm not going to put it on the LMS again. This is, you have to take down them. You have this question now. You have this report. I mean the question, mini project question. The question will be there. In the question it says no very clearly. I think I don't have. I mean, you don't have to even have a discussion session. It's clearly written here. You may select one requirement elicitation method to gather requirements. You need to submit some signed documents. That's it. I'm repeating the same thing. Yes, the recording will be available. Yes, you may select more than one requirements elicitation method. Students, okay, now you all want to know what type of places you can do. So now I told you now many students posted on the chat also. Yes, a juice bar. A hotel would be too big. Don't go for a hotel. Understand? Do you all understand what you mean by a shop? A shop, a boutique where you maintain an inventory. Hotel system is a different system now. Don't go for that type of things and don't go for big systems. A grocery store, a bakery, a cafe, a DVD shop, a phone shop. Those are good places. Don't go for food cities. I don't know why you all can't understand. Food city is a place where it's already established system is there. You will not be able to learn many things if you visit such a place because the system is already in place. Go to a place where they don't have a system. Even if they have a system, that's fine, but it should be a very small place. If you go to Cargill's Food City, it's a chain of food shops, isn't it? So don't go for that type of big chains, big systems. Go for a small place. Can't you understand when I say go for a small cafe? Yeah, a juice bar, a DVD shop, bakery. You visit and see whether it's too big, too small. Yes, a hardware shop. Yeah, that's also fine because you're not going to develop the system. You're going to only collect data. Okay? Right. So let's move to the next section because it's very important to clear everything. Diniti? Diniti? Is Diniti here? Diniti Tarushi? Diniti, why are you asking water board? Water board, how can we put a water board? Is it clear? Students, please don't, like, try to understand. No, I don't think that is needed. I don't think that's needed. They have to understand that it is very important to learn this degree in English. Yes, Diniti, why are you asking for a water board? Water board is a big established place. Don't go for places like that. You need to think about a very small shop that you have in your local area. Think about a small cafe. Think about a small clothing store. Think about a place that, like, let's say, DVD shop, no, phone repair shop. In every town there is a phone repair shop, isn't it? You can think about that type of a place. Yeah, spare parts shop. Then you can think about then there are lots of places, no, fruits selling shops, then ice cream bars. Those are very good places. Yes, a village hardware shop. Don't think about hotels. Don't go for hotels. Don't go for schools. Don't think about Cargill skills. All those big chains of shopping. You don't go for those places. Even an IT company, it's no point. No, IT companies, if there are developing people, you don't go. But if it is an IT shop where you sell items, then it's fine. Okay. Do you all understand what you mean by shop? Okay, just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes. I will get to explain in Tamil, one lecturer, and I will explain in Sinhala. I think you all don't understand what I am talking about, some of you all. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Let me get Miss Ahali, and I think it would be good if she can explain, okay? Okay, students. Right. So I'll explain in Sinhala now. Right? ඕගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන්නේ shop එකකට ගන්න. shop එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ පොඩි කඩයකට. හරිද? අපි පොඩි කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? keels කියන්නේ පොඩි කඩයක් නෙමෙයි. ඔයාලට පොඩි වගේ පේුණාට ඒක keels කියලා කියන්නේ ගොඩාක් තැන්වල රට පුරාම තියෙනවා එක එක කෑලි. එක එක කඩවල් තියෙනවානේ නේද? එක එක කඩවල හැම නගරෙටම වගේ තියෙනවා keels එකක්. car keels එකක්. මම දන්නේ වෙන ඒවා වෙන මොන හරි තියෙනවා නම් තව ආපිකෝ shopping center තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ shopping center ඒ වගේ වලට නෙමෙයි යන්නේ. යන්න ඕන පොඩි කඩයකට. ඇයි පොඩි කඩයකට යන්න කියන්නේ? දැන් ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ පළවෙනි ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකනේ ඕගොල්ලන් දැන් ගිහලා keels එකෙන් හරි කාගෙල්ස් එකෙන් හොයාගත්තොත් ඕගොල්ලන්ට එන සිස්ටම් එකක් ඉගෙන වෙන සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකක් ඉගෙන ගන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මුළු අවුරුද්දම ඒක ස්ටඩි කරන්න පුළුවන්. තේරුණාද? එහෙම ඒක හින්දා තමයි කියන්නේ පොඩි කඩයක් තෝරගන්න කියලා. පොඩි ඉන්වෙන්ටරි සිස්ටම් එකක් තියෙන එකක් තෝරගන්න මොනවද වෙන ඔපරේෂන් එක ඉගෙන ගන්න තමයි ඕන. අපි මොකක්ද කරන්නේ? අපිට තියෙන බඩු ගන්න ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඒක පොඩි කඩයක් වට සයිස් එක මේ පොඩි වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. සයිස් එක ලොකු කඩයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි එයාට වෙන නැත්තම් වෙන චේන් එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ ලොකු වෙන ගොඩාක් shops branches නැත්තම් ඒතරවට ලේසි මේ සිස්ටම් එක ස්ටඩි කරන්න. ඔයා දැනගන්න ඕනේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? ඉන්වෙන්ටරි කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? දැන් සිංහලෙන් එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න ඕන කියලා කිව්වා කියන්න බලන්න. ඉන්වෙන්ටරි කියන්නේ මොකද්ද?
බඩු ලයිස්තුව.
බඩු. එතකොට බඩු ඒවා දැන් බඩු විකුණුවාම බඩු තියෙන භාණ්ඩ අඩු වෙනවා. නේද? එතකොට භාණ්ඩ අපි මිලට ගන්නවානේ තොගයට. එතකොට බඩු භාණ්ඩ ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙනවා අපේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එකේ. එතකොට ඒක තමයි ඒක කොහොමද වෙන්නේ? ඒකයි අඳුර ගන්න ඕන. ඒකයි කියන්නේ පොඩි කඩයකට යන්න. දැන් පොඩි කඩයකට කියලා ගෙවල් ළඟ තියෙන බුලත් විකුණන කඩයට ගිහිල්ලා ගන්න එපා. ඒකේ හැම මේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එක මේන්ටේන් කරන්න බැහැනේ. නේද? එහෙම කරන්න එපා. ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එකක් මේන්ටේන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. software system එකක් ඔයා introduce කරලා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න. ඔයා ගිහලා software එකක් develop කරලා දෙන්නේ නැහැනේ Java වලින් හරි C++. ඒක ඔයා project එක කරනවා ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දේ එතකොට ඒක කරන්න. දැන් ඔයාගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ requirements collect කරලා system එකක් design කරන්න විතරයි. use case diagram එකක් ඇඳලා මේවා තමයි diagram. එතකොට ඔයාට යන්න පුළුවන් තැන් මොනවාද? cafe එකකට යන්න පුළුවන්. හරි පොඩි grocery shop එකකට යන්න පුළුවන්. ෆෝන් කඩේකට යන්න පුළුවන්. ඔය තියෙන්නේ මාල fancy බඩු විකුණන ඒ වගේ කඩේකට යන්න පුළුවන්. DVD store තව තියෙනවා මේ ෆෝන් repair ෆෝන් shops ඒවල නම් ගොඩක් මේ inventory හොඳට maintain කරන්න ඕන තැනක් නේ. bakery එකක්. computer part shops IT software development companies ඒ වගේ වලට යන්න එපා. හිතන්න එපා ලොකු companies ගැන. ඉස්කෝලේකට යන්න එපා. දැන් ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තිබුණේ ඉස්කෝලේකට යන්න එපා. ඉස්කෝලේ book shop එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කමක් නැහැ. ඉස්කෝලේ book shop එකකට කරලා කමක් නැහැ. හොටෙල් එකකට යන්න එපා. හොටෙල් සිස්ටම් එකක් කොහොමවත් ගාව ගන්න එපා. මොකද හොටෙල් සිස්ටම් එකට ගිහලා හොටෙල් එකේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි තියෙනවා. ඒකට යන්න එපා. මම ඒක එක සිස්ටම් එක කොටසක් විතරයි. ඒකට ඕගොල්ලන්ට කොම්ප්ලිකේටඩ් වැඩි. ඕගොල්ලන්ට කියන්නේ පොඩි එකක් තෝරගන්න. එහෙම එකක් තෝරගත්තාන් පස්සේ ප්‍රශ්න හදන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් ප්‍රශ්න මොනවද කියලා මගෙන් අහන්න එපා. ඒක තමයි ඕගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕන දේ. ඒක මගෙන් අහන්න එපා. ඒක ඕගොල්ලෝ එතනට ගිහිපුවම ඕගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙයි. ඔය අහන්න ඕන මොනවද? මේකේ ඔපරේෂන් එක දෙන්නේ කොහොමද? දැන් මම ඒක තමයි ඕගොල්ලන්ට කියලා දෙන්නේ. ඕගොල්ලන් ඉතින් අහගෙන ඉන්නේ නැහනේ. ඕගොල්ලන්ට මම කිව්වානේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට උත්තර කොහොමද කරන්නේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට විසඳන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා මම කියලා දෙනවා කියලා ඊළඟ ඊට පස්සේ ඕගොල්ලෝ අහගෙන ඉන්න. මොනවද අහන ප්‍රශ්න කියලා මට කියන්න බෑ. ඒක එක එක්කෙනාට ඩිපෙන්ඩ් වෙනවා. ෆෘට් හිතන්නකෝ. දැන් ඔයා ගිහිල්ලා අපි හිතමු grocery shop එකකට inventory එකක් හදනවා නම් ඔයා යාගෙන් අහන්න ඕන කොහොමද අපි grocery shop එකේ මේ ඔයා කොයි වෙලාවටද බඩු ඕඩර් කරන්නේ? කොයි වෙලාවටද බඩු මේකේ සිස්ටම් එක පොඩ්ඩක් එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න. ඒතර එයා කියනවා. එයා සිස්ටම් එක කොහොමද කරන්නේ? බඩු අඩු වෙගෙන යන්නේදී එයා කොහොමද බඩු ඕඩර් කරන්නේ? එහෙම නැත්නම් එයා හරියටම ගිනුම් කරන්න දන්න කෙනෙක් නම් එයා ඒ කියන්නේ එයා සමහර විට රීऑर्डर levels ඒවා මේන්ටේන් කරනවත් ඇති. සමහර විට එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතුව ඇති. ඒක තමයි ඔයා ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕන. ඒක ගිහිල්ලා ඔයාගේ කඩේ ඔයා කරන තැනින් තමයි ඔයා අහන්න ඕනේ. ඔයා ඒ සිස්ටම් එක දන්නේ නැහැ. අනිත් එක මම ඔක්කොම සිස්ටම්ස් දන්නෙත් නැහැනේ. දැන් මම ග්‍රොසරි ෂොප් එකක ෆෝන් ෂොප් එකේ ෆැන්සි ෂොප් එකේ බේකරි එකේ මේ නේද? ඒ ඔක්කොම සිස්ටම් එකේ වැඩ කරන හැටි දැනගන්න ඒගොල්ලන් එක්ක කියලා කතා කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම තමයි data collect කරගන්නේ. මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඒකයි කිව්වේ ඔයගොල්ලන් අහගෙන ඉන්න පොඩ්ඩ වෙලාවක් ඉස්සරහට මොකක්ද මම එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න යන්නේ කියලා. හරි? පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න දැන් මිස් අහලි are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Upshima.
Yes. Ms. Ahali, can you explain that what I explained earlier, and I think I gave you a little idea about what I'm expecting from the students. Would it be possible? I'll share my screen in this one. This is the place where I think you can see, right? So can you just one by one and explain what is expected from them? Especially they have a problem with selecting a place.
Right.
Thank you.
Good morning, students. டாக்டர் உப்ஷிமா உங்களுக்கு சொன்னதை நான் வந்து சுருக்கமா சொல்லி விடுறேன். உங்களுக்கு கேட்டுக்கொண்டது வந்து ஒரு மினி ப்ராஜெக்ட் செய்ய வேணும். அது பேர்ல இருக்கு மினி என்று சொல்லி, அதனால ஒரு சின்ன ப்ராஜெக்ட் தான் அவ எதிர்பார்க்கிறேன். அதாவது வந்து உங்களுக்கு ஷார்ட் பீரியட்ல நீங்க முடிக்க வேண்டியது. ஸோ இதுல வந்து ரெக்குவயர்மெண்ட், அதாவது என்ன நீங்க செய்ய வேணும்ன்றதை இங்க 6 பாயிண்ட்ஸ் மூலமா சொல்லி இருக்கு. அதுக்கு முதல்ல அவ சுருக்கமா என்ன சொன்ன வேண்டாம், பெரிய ஷாப்ஸ் பெருசா இருக்கிற ஒன்றுக்கும் நீங்க போக வேண்டாம். சின்னனா உங்களோட ஹோம் டவுன்ல உங்களை வளர்ச்சி சுத்தி இருக்கிற ஏதாவது ஒரு ஷாப்பை செலக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. அங்க வந்து இன்வென்டரி சிஸ்டம் கட்டாயம் இருக்க வேணும். இன்வென்டரி சிஸ்டம்னா என்னன்னு தெரியும் உங்களுக்கு? அந்த பொருட்கள் விற்கிற பொருட்களுக்குரிய ரெக்கார்ட்ஸ் வந்து வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அந்த சிஸ்டம் மெயின்டைன் பண்ற ஒரு கடையா இருக்க வேணும். அப்பதான் உங்களுக்கு உங்களோட ப்ராஜெக்ட் செய்யறதுக்கு அங்க இருந்து தகவல்கள் எடுத்துக்கொள்ளக்கூடியதாக இருக்கும். அதான் முக்கியம். அப்ப அவ சில கடைகள் சொன்னா போன் ஷாப், ப்ரிப்பேர் ஷாப், அப்படி சின்ன விடயங்கள், ஆனா இன்வென்டரி மெயின்டைன் பண்ற ஷாப்ஸா இருக்க வேணும்னு சொல்லி சொன்னா. பெரிய அதாவது ஆர்கனைசேஷன் பெரிய அளவுல போற அது ஒன்றுக்கும் நீங்க உங்களை போக வேண்டாம்னு சொல்லி சொல்லியிருக்க. அதுல வந்து முதலாவது உங்களுக்கு சொல்லிருக்கு யூ நீட் டு விசிட் யுவர் செலக்டட், அதாவது வந்து நீங்க செலக்ட் பண்ணின கடை அல்லது பாட்டிக் எதுக்கோ நீங்க பிசிக்கலா நிச்சயம் நேர போய் அங்க வந்து உங்களோட சிஸ்டம் அப்படி போகுதுன்னு நீங்க ஃபெமிலியரைஸ், அதாவது உங்களை பழக்கப்படுத்தி கொண்டு கரண்ட் சிஸ்டம் அப்படி போகுது அதை செய்து கொள்ளணும். அடுத்தது வந்து ஐடென்டிஃபை தி ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ் ஆஃப் தி சிஸ்டம், அதாவது சிஸ்டத்துல ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ் யார் யார், அதுல யாரு பங்கேற்று இருக்கிறாங்கன்றதை நீங்க ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி கொள்ளணும், அதாவது தெரிஞ்சு கொள்ள வேணும். மூன்றாவது வந்து செலக்ட் பண்ண ரெக்வயர்மெண்ட்ஸ் எலிசிட்டேஷன் மெத்தட், அதாவது நீங்க ஒரு ரெக்வயர்மெண்ட் எலிசிட்டேஷன் மெத்தட் நீங்களா செலக்ட் பண்ணி கொள்ளணும். அதெல்லாம் நீங்க ரிப்போர்ட் செய்யக்குள்ள சொல்லுவீங்க எது செலக்ட் பண்ணீங்க, என்ன காரணத்துக்கு. உதாரணம் இன்டர்வியூவா இருக்கலாம், கொஸ்டினரா இருக்கலாம், அல்லது ஃபோக்கஸ் குரூப், அந்த பர்டிகுலர் நீங்க செலக்ட் பண்ண ஷாப்ல யாரு கூடுதலா இன்வால்வ் ஆகி இருக்கிறாங்க அந்த ஃபோக்கஸ் குரூப்பை நீங்க ஆரண்டு ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி அல்லது இனங்கண்டு அவங்க ஊடமாக நீங்க அந்த ரெக்வயர்மெண்ட்ஸை எடுத்துக்கொள்ளக்கூடியதாக இருக்கும். அதை தவிர நீங்க ரெக்வயர்மெண்ட்ஸ், அதாவது உங்களுக்கு தேவையான தகவல்களை நீங்க கெதர் பண்ணி உங்களோட சிஸ்டத்தை டெவலப் பண்ண வேணும். ரைட், யூ நீட் டு சப்மிட் சைன் டாக்குமெண்ட் ஃப்ரம் த ஷாப் ஓனர். ஓகே, அதான் அடுத்து வந்து நீங்க வந்து இப்ப நீங்க ஒரு ஷாப்புக்கு போறீங்க, அங்க இருந்து டீட்டெயில்ஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்கன்னு சொன்னா உங்களோட டாக்குமெண்ட் வந்து ஷாப் ஓனரோட சிக்னேச்சரோட இருக்க வேணும். அங்க இருந்து நீங்க எடுத்தீங்க, என்னென்ன விஷயம் எடுத்தீங்கன்னு சொல்லி அவங்க உறுதிப்படுத்துற மாதிரி இருக்க வேணும். அடுத்தது வந்து you need to submit a signed document from the person, okay, and to be produced along with the mini project. Okay, mini project நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணக்குள்ள அந்த டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் அதோட நீங்க கொடுக்க வேணும். அதோட வந்து ஐடென்டிஃபை ஃபங்க்ஷன் அண்ட் நான் ஃபங்க்ஷனல் ரெக்வயர்மெண்ட்ஸ். ரைட், இது முக்கியமானது. இது வந்து நீங்க பிறகு வர உங்களுடைய ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸுக்கும் வந்து இது உதவி செய்யும். உங்களுக்கு இனம் கண்டு கொள்ளக்கூடியதாக இருக்க வேணும். என்னென்ன ஃபங்க்ஷனல் அண்ட் நான் ஃபங்க்ஷனல் ரெக்வயர்மெண்ட் உங்களோட ப்ரொபோஸ்ட் சிஸ்டம், நீங்க இப்ப செலக்ட் பண்ணிருக்கிற சிஸ்டத்துல ஃபங்க்ஷனல் அண்ட் நான் ஃபங்க்ஷனல் என்னென்ன இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி நீங்க ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி அதை மென்ஷன் பண்ண வேணும். அது தவிர illustrate the requirements of the proposed system with the use case. Okay, use case diagram. இப்ப நீங்க சிஸ்டம் கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டீங்க, என்னன்னு சொல்லி ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணிட்டீங்க, நான் ஃபங்க்ஷனல் கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டீங்க. அதுக்கு பிறகு வந்து நீங்க யூஸ் கேஸ் டயக்ராம் உண்டு செய்ய வேணும். நீங்க கண்டுபிடிச்ச தகவல்களை வச்சுக்கொண்டு யூஸ் கேஸ் டயக்ராம் செய்ய போறீங்க. அதுக்கு பிறகு ரைட் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒன் யூஸ் கேஸ் நரேட்டிவ் ஃபார் பிசினஸ் ப்ராசஸ் இந்த அபவ் யூஸ் கேஸ் டயக்ராம். ஓகே, அடுத்ததான் நீங்க செய்ய போறது யூஸ் கேஸ் நரேட்டிவ். நீங்க எல்லாம் இதுல படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. ஸோ நரேட்டிவ் கட்டாயம் நீங்க செய்ய வேணும். யூஸ் கேஸ் டயக்ராம் செய்த அப்புறம் இதுதான் பேசிக்கா உங்களுக்கு சொல்ல இருந்தது. ரைட், தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you, Miss Aheli.
தேங்க்யூ.
Thanks. Okay, students, now did you all understand? Everyone? What you're supposed to do? Right? What type of shop that you need to select? I hope you got the idea, right? Right. Now let's move to the next section. So it says, identify the functional and non-functional requirements of the proposed system. So now I will explain from the book what do you mean by functional and non-functional requirements. Hope that you can remember we discussed this in the day school 3 as well, right? Then illustrate the requirements of the proposed system with a use case diagram and write at least one use case narrative for a business process. Now, drawing use case diagrams, as I mentioned, you will learn in day school 4. So I'm not going to explain how to draw use cases today, right? Today I will explain how to do this mini project, right? But I'll give a small idea about the use case and the use case narrative as well. So you need to submit the mini project report on or before the due date, that is 31st March. Okay, so now look at these important things. Mini project will be evaluated by considering the mini project report and the Viva. Time for the Viva work for each student will be approximately 15 minutes. Okay, so the lecturer, it might not be the academic coordinator. All the CITES lecturers will be allocated for taking the Viva for this course. For any course where you have a mini project Viva, you will have all the lecturers and some of the tutors involved in the Viva work because we have a lot of students. So there'll be only one lecturer who will be asking, lecturer or a tutor will be asking questions from you. So you will be given a time slot to attend, to give the Viva. It will be about 15 minutes. Right? So you have to give answers to all the questions that the lecturer or the tutor will ask you. According to that, you will get marks. So for the mini project, that in the Viva work is compulsory, and if you do not attend, marks for the mini project will not be allocated. Also, you are not able to sit for the Viva work if you do not submit your report on time. So I hope it's very clear that you need to submit the report on time. You need to sit for attend the Viva work. And just attending is not enough. You need to get more than 40 marks. The date and time for the mini project Viva work will be available in the LMS closer to the submission date. Right? Okay. So now what do you have to include in the project? Right? What do you have to put in the project report? So that's what I'm going to explain now. This is for the report. This is for the Viva work. Okay. First, let's have a look at the report format for the mini project report. 40% of the total mini project marks if the Viva work is given. Otherwise, 0 marks. That means you submit the report, and if you do not face the Viva, you will get 0 marks. Right? Okay. Now let's see what you have to include. Starting from introduction. Right? This is the table of content for your report. First, you have to put introduction. Then you have to write introduction to the report. Why are you making this report? Right? For what project you are going to make this report. Then second, you may write the name and address of that you, the shop that you selected. There's a typo, I think. Yes, sorry, I have not included that. You have to write the name and address of the contact person from the shop that you selected and any other relevant details to make it very clear for the person who will be marking your mini project report. Then you need to identify the stakeholders of the system. Stakeholders means people who are interested in this system. Then you have to explain about the requirements elicitation method. Let's say you used an interview method, then you have to say, okay, I used the interview method. Yes? No. Who are interested in this system. I'm going to explain about a small system that is given in your study material after I explain this, right? Then I will explain about this. Then you will get a clear idea who are stakeholders, okay? Okay. Okay. Then requirements elicitation method. So here you have to tell how you collected data, from how many people you collected data, and you have to give all the details. That means you have to attach the questionnaire. Yes, you may select a pharmacy as well, yes. Requirements elicitation method. So you have to talk about the interview questions you interview and the answers you got. Then comes to the functional and non-functional requirements. So functional means what are the activities that are carried out in this system, and non-functional are they are not functional but is expected from the system, right? So we discussed this in day school 3, right? So like in a functional requirement for inventory system, it would be like buying goods, a functional requirement, isn't it? Non-functional would be the system should respond within 1 minute, something like that. There can be many things. In one functional requirement or one non-functional requirement is not enough. When you study the system, you will understand. Identify the business actors. So these are the people who are involved. The system, who are involved in this system, that who will be using the system. When you develop a system, the people who will be using the system are actors. It's not only people, it can be systems as well. That's why now it can be a system, but we don't want you all to do such a big project. We want you all to do a very small project where the actors would be just people, but there can be systems as well. That's why I don't want you all to do systems such as schools, hotels, because they will have systems where they have interaction with other systems. Okay, right. Requirement analysis. So here we need a complete use case diagram, a use case narrative, conclusion or a discussion, and references. Now let's say you used some document from the web, right? So you can put give details about it, right? And if you studied about an inventory system prior to collecting data, that also you can put. You have to put actually all the references. And in the appendix, if there are any more things that you want to attach, like from the shop, if they give you any other details, you can attach them here as well. So you have to, for that, you can visit the place and see. Right. So then mini project Viva, what are the things that will be covered? So 60 marks will be given for this. 60% of total mini project marks. 60% of total mini project marks if the mini project report is submitted on time. Otherwise, 0 marks will be given. So mini project Viva, you will get 60% for the mini project. So what do you have to, in the Viva, the lecturer or the tutor will ask questions, theoretical background. That means whatever that is necessary in the theory. When drawing a use case diagram, why you draw use case diagram? Now one student is asking, what is a use case diagram? So I think that you have not attended the third day school, Hafsa. So otherwise you won't ask that question because we talked about the use case diagram. So okay, so theoretical background. So you have to talk about whatever that you put in the report, any theory behind whatever you put in the report, you have to answer. Explanation of the system. What is the system that you develop, that you are going to design, you have to explain. Then issues faced when designing the system, advantages and disadvantages of proposing a system, and any other related matters will be covered. So that is all related to the mini project. So this is what you have to cover for your mini project. So for the report, you have to include all these things. And for the Viva, these things you have to be ready. Okay. So now I will talk about a system that is given in your book, right? Without asking me what is a use case diagram and asking me what is a use case narrative, first listen to this, right? Then you will get the answers to that question because it shows that you have not attended the day school 3. Now, all of you all have the soft copy of the book 1, right? So now I invite all of you all read this book 1. I hope by now you have read it because obviously you know that your cat is coming very soon and you have to read it and study the book, right? So before you conduct this, before you start the mini project work, I want you all to, even today, it would be very good that you start from this session 3. And you know that this is a self-study degree, right? It's a in blended mode. You have to self-study these books. No one is going to come and explain one by one that is written in this book. So please read this session. In this session, it's explained how. What is the first, let's have it. Introduction to software engineering. So I want you all to read this session 3. Please take down note. Okay. Don't ask me don't ask any of the coordinators. What do you mean by requirements elicitation or like that? Right? Because that is given in this book and in all the day school notes. So read it carefully. And we discussed requirements elicitation in the last day school 3, right? So read this one, and if you attended the day school, or you can watch the day school video, and then when you read this one, you will get a very good idea about it. Then go for this place. Read this one first, and then see after reading the book, what are the learning outcomes? Have you achieved these learning outcomes? Okay, right. Then requirements elicitation and documentation. This you need to read after that. After reading session 3, you have to read session 4. Right? Now, we'll go for this. Yeah, the requirements elicitation. Yeah. So before I start this very important section about explaining how to do this, how considering an example, I'll answer some of the questions that have asked me. Yeah, for the appendix, you have to get the confirmation letter from the shop owner. So you have to understand that, right? That is obvious, right? An appendix should have all the details that you can't put it to the main report. You may use any reference style like Harvard reference style or IEEE reference. Just mention what is the reference type you are using. In the Viva session, nuance city, I think you have not understood. Nobody is going to ask about codes. How can we ask about code? We are not going to ask you to develop this software. No? You are supposed to design a solution only, not develop. Nuance city. Did you understand?
Yes, madam.
No one is going to ask you. I didn't tell that you have to develop. You can develop a software when you go for a design project. In this, I explained, right? Where did I ask you to do a coding?
No, ma'am. I mean that in the theoretical part, you mentioned you ask theory.
Theory about use case diagrams, about requirements elicitation, about software development life cycle. Yes, that is theory. Coding or not theory, no. Coding is developing. So we are not asking you to develop anything at this stage.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, right. So in the software requirements elicitation, please read this carefully. I'm not going to go one by one. This book is written in such a way that by reading on your own, you should understand. That is why now we are here. You know that at this university, you have to study on your own these things, right? If you have a question, you have to raise during discussion time like this. So otherwise, you read this one. It explains very nicely about a requirement document. See, this is about consider the following initial statement of requirements for a system ordered by the owner of a small garage. This is a Kumudu garage follow-up system, right? Now, this system will keep records of customers and their vehicles. It will send reminders to customers whose vehicles are due for a service in the following week. You understand? Now, next week, if your vehicle is to be like, you need to get to the service, then they will send a reminder. When a vehicle is booked in for servicing, it will print a job sheet for the mechanic describing the work to be done. When the job is completed, the time spent and the prices of the spare parts fitted will be added up and invoice will be sent to the customer. At the end of the month, it will print a list of unpaid invoices and reminders to be posted to all customers whose invoices have not been paid for some time. Now, students, see, this is a requirements document, initial statement. So when you also visit, right? When you visit a place, you will also get an initial statement like this from a shop owner. In this one, Kumudu Garage follow-up system, they say, okay, this is our business. From the software system, this is what we expect, or this is what is actually happening. No? They keep records of their customers, vehicles, and they send reminders. Job sheets will be printed. These are the functions of the system. So, see, the prices of spare parts will be taken from the garage existing stock control database, which is not actually part of the Kumudu Garage follow-up system. Though it will be needed to be updated when spares are taken out of stores. Kumudu Garage follow-up must run on the garage existing personal computer, which is networked with the stock control database, and it must be easy to use. So that's the requirements document. So read this whole thing, and then you'll understand there can be issues, right? Why we need this one? What are the main functions? What is the scope? What are the elements and subsystems? How it is controlled? Who are the users? Why it is required? When it is required? And so many things. So these are the questions that you also have to ask the shop that you select. No, isn't it? You, first of all, you have to have a requirements document like this, right? You can ask them. You don't have to have a document like. So you also have to identify your requirements, like requirements document. But for that, you have to ask them, okay, but how the operation is done? How you are expecting it to be done? If you are going to introduce an inventory system, how you expect it to, what is the current system? So you have to talk, right? It's not going to not a 5-minute discussion, right? Then you have to clarify, ask these general questions, get answers, get clear answers, right? So please read this one. And you have to do this activity on your own, right? And then you will understand how you are supposed to do this. Then how to resolve functional and non-functional requirements. So what are functional requirements? First of all, I mentioned if it is a functional requirement, look at this problem. Look at the given question. In this one, it very clearly says, what are the requirements? The system should send reminders. That's the first thing. When a vehicle is booked for servicing, it will print a job sheet. Second one. When the job is complete, the time spent and the price of spare parts will be added up an invoice way. Okay, so getting that, preparing the invoice is one thing. It will be sent to the customers is one thing. It will print a list of unpaid invoices is one function. Send reminders to customers. See, those are functional requirements. Okay, students, did you get it? Students, did you understand this or not? The functional requirements are things, actions, isn't it? We call them actions or functions, right? Functions, things that will be they are like verbs, things that will do, right? You do these things, right? The system should send reminders, print a job sheet, prepare an invoice, send it to customers, print an unpaid invoice, send a reminder to customers, and there can be many more. Read and see, okay? So students, first of all, you also, in order to understand what are the functional requirements, you need to study the system, isn't it? You need to ask lots of questions. How this will be printed? What are the sub-functions? No, that's why I want you to read this one. You have to understand this by reading. Obviously, don't expect students that at this university, we will not teach all these things. That is, you have to understand. That's why the book is given to you all know. What I'm explaining, it's given in the book, right? So I'm just guiding you. So you read this one and try to understand it very clearly. Take down notes. I have asked you to keep a notebook with you. Take down notes. Write this one clearly. Understand what is How are requirements, how to identify the requirements, what are the functional requirements. Then come to non-functional requirements. What do you mean by non-functional requirements? Now, when you write non-functional requirements, don't write usability, scalability, maintainability, testability, security, good response time. You don't write like that. You don't write like that. Always give a value. Now, this is the place I was looking for. I'm not going to see all students all have to be, this is not only for a mini project. Remember, when you're in the software, if you're going to stay in this field, you have to remember this very carefully. Non-functional requirements cannot be left ambiguous. What do you mean by this? It can't have many multiple ideas. If I say it's in very simple terms, if I say it can't have multiple interpretations, ideas. If it should be quantifiable, you can't say response time should be very fast. You can't say like that. You have to say, what do you mean by very fast? So we can say the response should be given within 20 milliseconds. Is it clear, students? But I'm saying it cannot have, if we just keep very fast. Okay, let's clear this up. If I say very fast, okay? For an example, I'm going to take a bank ATM system. If I say very fast, the system, if I check the bank balance, if I'm using an ATM system, for me, if it gives me the answer, like the balance, in half a minute, I'm okay with it. But if I ask this question from another student, you might say, for me, it should respond in 1 minute time. Or it should respond within 10 seconds. See? Now, why there is this ambiguity here? Can someone tell me why there's an ambiguity here? Because it is, yes, it depends on the person. Very fast means for me, maybe it's half a minute. Another person, it may be 1 minute. For another person, maybe 10 seconds. And another person might say, rather than going and waiting in the queue in the bank, I would prefer staying at least 10 minutes. That is very fast for that person. It depends. That's why you can't write statements in non-functional requirements. You can't write statements which will give multiple ideas. For that, don't write statements like this for non-functional requirements. What you have to write is, you have to write like this. The system should respond to a simple query in 20 milliseconds. Okay? Got it? You understood or you didn't understand? Students, did you understand or you didn't understand?
Understood, ma'am.
Understood, ma'am.
Understood, madam. Okay. So, okay, now one student is asking, for functional requirements, are we going to imagine? No. I told you in the day school also, when we are going to build a software, no assumptions. Why you are going to imagine things? Ask that person how he is doing the work. We are going to anyway do for a man, that's what I told you. It's good if you can do it for a manual system. You understand how the system, how the system currently works and how they would prefer. So in the Kumudu Garage system, see, they have written what is what is expected? This system will keep records of customers and their vehicles. It will send reminders to customers. So you have to get this type of a statement. So you can't ask, okay, tell us a requirement statement. They will be like, what is this? What are you asking? So that's why you have to learn how to ask questions and get a statement from them. That's what is given in session 3, 4, 5. You first read it. Then you'll understand. Right? You are not going to imagine anything. No assumptions. That's the first thing that we learned under software engineering now. Then that is your system, no, not their system. Okay. So now see, non-functional requirements, it clearly states a non-functional requirement specifies criteria that can be judged the operation of a system rather than specific behaviors. See, in general, this is a very clear thing. Students, remember this. In general, functional requirements define what a system is supposed to do. Is the system supposed to send a reminder, print a job sheet, view the data, view the spare parts, whatever? Then, whereas non-functional requirements define how a system is supposed to be. How? Is the system supposed to be a very user-friendly with very big fonts, and the color should be black, and the font size color should be black, and the background color should be white? How a system is supposed to be? Or then you can say, is the system is supposed to respond within 1 millisecond or within 10 milliseconds? Is the system supposed to be then let's say the system supposed to be able to run in any browser or in any selected browser, only in Google Chrome? Systems, things like that. So read the book and try to understand this. Okay, non-functional requirements can be divided into two main categories. Execution qualities such as security and usability, which are observable at runtime. Evaluation qualities such as testability, maintainability, extensibility, scalability, which are embodied in the static structure of the software system. So students, remember this one. Non-functional requirements cannot be left ambiguous. They must be stated in a way that is quantifiable. Otherwise, there's no way to validate whether these requirements are met or not. Right? Okay. So now we learned that part as well. Okay. So then, there's one other thing that I want to show you here.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you just give us 2 or 3 examples with non-functional requirements in the Kumudu Garage thing?
Yes, I will show you. Okay. So before that, I wanted to explain about the stakeholders first. Then let me explain that. So now so stakeholders. Now read this section, then you will understand about the stakeholders. In order to gather requirements, you must identify the stakeholders of the system first. That is, who are users, administrators, beneficiaries of the system. See, an example is given here. For example, a student detail management system at a university will have the students as beneficiaries who would see their time schedules, marks, financial information, etc. Lecturers and administrative staff as users who input course details, marks, financial status, etc. to the system, and IT staff as administrators. So these are the people who are interested, isn't it? So when you're building your system, you have to think about the stakeholders of this system, right? So read this section to get a very clear idea. If you, students, all the use case diagrams of the KGF, Kumudu Garage follow-up system is given, right? In this book, right? If you read the book, you will get all the information. So let's have a look in the next session. See. See, requirements analysis with data flow diagram and UML. This is the context I explained. I hope that you can remember this one. This is a DFD, data flow diagram. So actually, before you go for use case diagram, even you can draw a DFD and understand who are the people involved, who are the systems involved. Outside you can put them. You can draw a context diagram where you have, okay, what is coming here? DFD, no, it shows how the data flows, no? You can draw such a system. But what we expect in your mini project report is not that. But when you want to study system, this is a very good way to study your system, right? So that's why they have done. So in the book, that's why the book is written in such a way that you should be able to study alone. See, Kumudu Garage follow-up system, how to do. The context diagram they have drawn. You also can draw on your own for this system that you select. Then the use case diagram, right? So you will learn how to draw use case diagram in a day school 4, but I think I gave a brief idea the other day, in day school 3, that you put the system boundary and then you put the actors outside. And each functional requirement, you have to put it in the use case, right? Okay, so then, so read about these actors, read about the use case associations. Right. So how to draw a use case diagram is given here. Steps in developing the use case model. Identify the business actors, identify the business use cases, construct a use case model diagram, document business requirements, use case narratives. So first step, identifying business actors. Give answers to all these questions. When looking for actors, ask the following questions. Who or what provide inputs? Who or what receives outputs? Interfaces required? Are there events that are automatically triggered or at a predetermined time? Who will maintain information? Likewise, ask these questions after you collect data, right? You can't do it now. You have to first collect the data. But before you collect data, before you select a shop event, you have to read the book. Session 3, Session 4, Session 5, especially. Do what is given in this book, all these 3 sessions, take your notebook and study. Kumudu Garage system, you have to study that. Then only start your work. Okay? Now, identifying the business requirements. So when looking for use cases, so someone asked how to draw use cases. So when looking for use cases, ask the following questions. What are the main tasks of the actor? What information does the actor need? What information does the actor provide? Does the system need to inform the actor for any events, right? So all those things, read the book, then you will understand. I'll show you before I come to extends and includes, let me show you the Kumudu Garage system use case diagram. See, customer. So you also have the book. No, you can read the book and see the customer says should get notified of vehicles due to service. See, it's a function of the system. So it has a link with the customer. Obtain an invoice. It's a link with the customer. Mechanic should obtain a job sheet. See, when you write use cases, start with a verb. A verb. Okay? Start with a verb. Because it's doing something you do, right? You don't write job sheet. When you are writing use cases, you don't write like job sheet only. Do you understand, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Only one person understand? The rest can't understand?
Ma'am, understood.
I understand, ma'am.
Okay. So now here, receptionist. Receptionist book in vehicles. Then manager, obtain overdue invoices. Manager can display jobs. Manager can update job details. See, all the work, no? That's why you have to always use a verb to write in a use case diagram. See, it's very clearly written, students, in this book. How you get the requirements document, you ask the question, clarify, and then draw the use case diagram. Okay, so then system admin, what they will do, create backups, close down a system, archive the records and all those things. So now this includes and extends, I'll explain later. That's something that comes with the use case diagram. You will actually learn that in day school 4, right? I'll quickly touch that. You will learn this further in the 4th day school, right? Okay, so when drawing use cases, there are advanced concepts as well, right? Advanced use case modeling concepts. That is use of the extension and an abstract use case. An extension use case is a case where it extends. What do you mean by that? A use case consists of steps extracted from a more complex use case in order to simplify the original case is called an extension use case. Right. So a use case consisting of steps, that's very important, steps extracted from a more complex use case in order to simplify the original case. Now, the relationship between the extension use case and the original use case, it is extending, is called an extends relationship. You can see that, right? See here, it is represented as an arrow-headed line beginning at the extension use case and point to the use case it is extending. The relationship line is labeled extends. See, extends. You have to have an arrow and extension use case. It should start from there. So where is the original one? This one. Place new member order. So a use case consists of steps extracted from a more complex use case in order to simplify the original call is called an extension. So in order to place the new member order, need to generate place new member order is extending from generate warehouse packing order and calculate order subtotal and sales tax. So according to the question, you will read the question and then you will understand that this will be extending. So the original use case is this one, place new member order. So these, in order to simplify that, you can have 2 extends. Then you will have another one that is abstract use case. This is like includes or also known as users. Abstract use case reduces redundancy among 2 or more other use cases by combining the common steps found in these cases. So let's say there's one thing that you need to use multiple times. Then what you will do is you do not write like this. Here. Now let's say, to place a new member order, you need to get the postal address. To submit change or the postal address also, you can use this one, one function. Now, to place a new member order also, you need to write a postal address now. Then you need to submit change the postal address also, you need to go to that function. So instead of writing it 2 times, you can have one abstract use case and say users, or you can write this one as include as well. Include. Okay. Okay, now we'll have a look at this one. This is an order clerk. It has a check-in passenger. It uses or includes assigned service and weigh luggage, right? Then assign the service. You have a pay cash or arrange credit. Assign, extends. Another example. Let me get this one. Here, let me explain it from here. So now let's say the customer, this is Kumudu Garage follow-up system. For the customer to obtain an invoice, to obtain an invoice, obviously, there should be a vehicle booked, right? So booking vehicle use case must be included, or we can, instead of includes, we can add users as well. Obtain invoice, booking vehicles. To obtain an invoice, one other thing, obtain overdue invoice, details and reminders. So customers can get overdue invoice now and reminders. So obtain invoice include that as well. Sorry. Then let's say booking vehicles. Booking vehicles is a complex use case. It can have manage customer details and manage vehicle details, both. So that's why we use extends. Okay. So students, I want all of you all to, first of all, very important, read the book, right? Don't start doing this mini project without reading the book. It will be very unsuccessful. It will be very unsuccessful. I'm talking with all the experience that the students had last time, right? Okay, writing a use case narrative, before I forget that. Writing a use case narrative is also important. You have to, you have to write at least one use case narrative. So what is a use case narrative? A use case narrative consists of a predefined form which requires to be filled for each business process in the use case diagram. To uniquely identify the use case narrative, a use case ID is given together with the name. Now, look at this. Use case narrative for booking vehicle. Now, you don't have to write use case narrative for all the functional requirements. Now, by now, you should understand that for each functional requirement, you should have a use case process, right? For each functional requirement, you should have a use case like this, isn't it? No? You should have use cases like this. So, select one use case, such one use case, and then write this narrative. So, how to write a narrative? That is what is explained here. So, you also have to follow the same method. Write the use case name, use case ID. You can write anything. You can think whether it's for the priority, whether high or not. So that it's given in the book, right? Then who are the primary business actors and other actors? Who are the stakeholders, other interested stakeholders, right? So you can write them. Who are the other interested stakeholders? Give a description, clear description, right? See, this use case describes the event of a registered customer booking in a vehicle to service. The customer's demographic information is validated. Once the necessary products are verified as being in stock, a job card See, a big description you have to write. Okay. Then a precondition. Is there a precondition? If there is a precondition, you have to mention that. If there is a trigger, that means this function should come up only if it is if there is the triggering case. This use case is initiated when the clerk notifies that a vehicle is brought in. So when a vehicle is brought in, then that is the triggering point, right? So you have to write something like this. So students, my advice for y'all is when you want to do this mini project, first thing that you are going to do is not go to a shop and ask questions now. Don't do it. Okay. What you have to do today or tomorrow, don't wait till, okay. So I have some advices for you. Don't wait till, now when are we going to submit this mini project? 31st March. Isn't it? You're supposed to submit on 31st March, yes. You are not going to go to the shop on 30th. Okay? You can't do a mini project like that. You are not going to go to the shop on 30th and collect data. You will fail for sure. Okay? So, get my advice. You can't do on 25th March because you have a cat next day. That's not. Anyway, the time is not enough. Then when are you going to go? Are you going to go on 17th March? No. Time is not enough. You have to go and collect data within this week. Okay? So, you know that we have the discussion today, but you can't go now. Why? You have to study the book. Session 3, Session 4, Session 5, you have to study, not read only. Reading is different and studying in and actually fulfilling the objectives is one thing. Study this book, those 3 chapters especially, and then go and find out about a place. So in this week, at least you have to go and find. So at one shot, you can't collect all the details and get interviews and start. You might have to visit the place at least 2-3 times. At least 3 times you'll have to visit. No, it would be really good because then only you can get a clear idea. Okay. Understood, students?
Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Then when you go and collect data, you know that you have to finally you have to get the what do you call the signed letter, a letter or questionnaire. The answers, everything must be submitted in your report. You have to get the signature from the person you interviewed or you collected data saying that you visited this place on these days and you collected data. Right? That type of a letter must be put into the appendix of the report. Right? And then after you collect data, don't ask only 5 questions and do the mini project. That you can't do. You have to ask many questions. Understand. First of all, you will have to understand what an inventory system is. So if you have done O-level math, O-level commerce even, you will understand what an inventory system. If you haven't done O-level commerce, still that is not an issue. I mean, A-level commerce of course you will know, but if you haven't studied about inventory system, you can go and talk with them and they'll understand. Then you will get an idea, right? You can do a web search, but students, I'll tell you, please don't, it's actually a humble request from you all. Don't copy and paste. Don't copy from the web. To understand, like in your report, don't put things that others have done. I don't want, not me, not Mr. Salih, not citers. We are not ready to see what others have done by y'all. We want y'all to learn how to understand you should understand how an inventory system works. We don't want others' works. We also can go and check those. We want your work. So you can learn about how inventory system works, how other inventory system works. You can do a web search. But that is not what I or Mr. Salih or what Citus is expecting you all to do. We want you all to you can get an idea, no? Read it and see, this is how it works, right? But you should go, collect details. You have to prepare the inventory system. You have to design a solution. Design a solution for an inventory system. And students, you don't have to code. You don't have to write C code in Java coding or anything, and you don't have to develop. You have to do only the designing part. But when it comes to the mini project Viva, you know that this is going to be at the end of this semester. You will get questions from the software development lifecycle model. No, we will ask questions from, because that's what you are expected to learn in this course, software engineering concepts. Okay. Okay, students, then I think I'm done with explaining about the mini project. Hope you all got an idea about it. Now, there are some questions that students have asked. There is no page limit for the report. Yeah, so you will have an algorithm session, right? So students, you know that on 9th, if the country situation is not going to be if there's not going to be any issue, algorithms, there will be on-site session from 9 to 10:30 for 3467. For 3266, there will be ER, the first lab, 11 to 12:30 on-site. And for AGM, 1:30 to 4 o'clock on-site. So students, you have to go visit any center that you wish. I think by now you may have indicated where you are going. So you have to visit, because this is going to be an on-site. Please attend the session. And if you are coming on weekday or else on 19, that will be for the weekend session. Okay. So algorithms, we will do some algorithms. You come that day and see what's happening. Okay. You have to come for the session. Right. Okay. Any other questions?
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Madam, the night session is the repeated session, no? It is the different one.
It's actually for the weekend students, because weekend students, we don't have a weekend session. So that's why we have put the night session.
Okay, madam.
Yes.
Ma'am, this recording will get the LMS?
Yes, this recording will be available on the LMS. Yes.
PDF is also available?
It will be available today. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can I leave, ma'am?
Yes. Yes, you may leave if all your doubts are clear. You may leave. Otherwise, you cannot. You don't have to attend the evening session. You don't have to attend the evening session. Same thing will be repeated. Otherwise, if students ask any other questions, I will answer. But yes. Yes, of course. There will be, for the algorithm session, students, don't you all know that you all can go to any center? It will be held in Colombo on site, right? What do you mean by OQ? OQ is online quiz. Online quiz. You have to do the online quiz in order to get eligibility marks. It's a test. It's a test.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
How many units do we want to cover to refer for the online quiz?
It's like this. all the things that were covered from day school 1 to day school 3. Okay? Day school 1 to day school 3. Check the book and see. It is algorithm session. Attending is compulsory. It's attending. For attendance, you will get marks. Yes. For it's.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Madam, that OQ is displayed for the both days, Saturday and Sunday.
No. It can't be only one day. It's like this. Can you see the activity diary?
Yes, madam.
It's only on 11th February. Okay.
Okay,
It's
madam.
not
Only on Saturday.
Yeah, only on Saturday. No. It's only on Saturday. It's only on Saturday for this course, 3467. For 3372, OK will be held on Sunday, 12th February. And 3266, OK will be held at 6 a.m. Okay?
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Yeah. So according to this, OQ is a test. OQ is an online quiz. Okay? So according to your, let me show your, according to the course synopsis, doing this OQ is very important because you have 2 CAT exams. One is 1 CAT and 1 OQ. The best marks will be taken and multiplied by 0.2. So it's important. It's a test.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
What is the place of Colombo Center? You are going to head the on-site in Elgo station?
I'm not quite sure, Hiranti, that can you please check that one when you come to the center, they will display it because it depends on the availability of the center because there are so many activities going on for other faculties also. So they will because this is not anything that you come for any event that you come to an on-site. It will be arranged by the regional center. So Colombo Regional Center will arrange it and they will put up a display. A notice will be there, Hiranti.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
According to, because there will be exams for other faculties, other lectures will be going on, laboratories. Yeah, right. So I'm not quite sure.
Can we got details from the security branch?
Yes. From the security, there will be what do you call it? Notice will be there in the CRC notice board. There will be a notice. Anyway, Hiranti, I think message will also be sent. Today is Monday, no? So I think there will be a message sent on Tuesday for all the students. I think it will be most probably the examination hall number 3, but I'm not quite sure. Please don't take it as the place because I'm not quite sure they are arranging the places yet.
Okay, madam. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Online quiz is not an essay type question. It's an MCQ, multiple choice question. And it is not only multiple choice question. There will be questions from C programs, right? So you will have some maybe things to, it's an online quiz only, we can say, right?
Madam, Algo session is it only Colombo Center or other centers?
It's like this. We will have. Did you attend the note making session?
Not, madam.
So it will be like the note making session. The Colombo Center, we will have so if I am conducting it, I will be there in the Colombo Center. I can't be there at all the centers now. So I'll be there at one center and the students will join through online. Okay?
Okay, madam. Okay.
Now, Hiruni, what you have to understand is, I think I mentioned this earlier also. There are compulsory activities that are given. Consider it as a test. Then it's easy for you all. I mean, it's really easy to tell you like that. Because the algorithm on-site one, it is not a test where you will get marks, but attendance is important. Attendance, you will get marks. The ER, this is the lab 1. Then this is, what is this? AGM. It's a workshop. So attending this, these things by going to a center is important.
Excuse me, ma'am.
No, OQ is there only on weekend. It's a test, no, students. Now, when it comes to a test, there won't be weekend students separate test, weekday students separate test, nothing like that, students. It will be held only one day. It will be held only on one day. Take it clearly to your mind. There is only one OQ for this subject, 3467 on Saturday, 11th February. Okay?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm a weekend student, but I couldn't attend the last day school 3 due to an unavoidable circumstance. But the recording is also not uploaded in the LMS.
Recording will not be uploaded yet. You will have to do an activity and then the recording will be uploaded. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, please read the book. All the sessions in book, or the first book, and in the all the sessions in the first book you will have to read carefully for this. Wait, let me show you. And C will also come for this session, for this OQ.
And when will the day school 5 video uploaded?
5? I don't know when the day school 5 will be
So
held.
day school 3. Day school 3.
Day school 3, most probably Mrs. Alia. I think, yeah, we can have it tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we can upload it.
Yeah, so for your test, right, for the OQ, we are going to, I think it's the first book, right? Because all the things that is in the first book is given in, we covered today school 1, 2, 3, isn't it, Mrs. Ali? We will have questions from the first day, from the first 3 days school, that will be the book block 1. Okay? Okay. The OQ will be 20 questions. So you know the play isn't it available in the activity diary? It says all OQs will be like, see, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. So there'll be 20 questions. Okay. Okay, so that is all.
And one thing I have to mention is we will put the grouping choice today. So please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please fill that.
Yeah.
Yes, Sally, can you tell all the students about it? I think
yeah.
some of the students, they don't have an idea about it.
Yeah. The grouping choice is that we have previously put a grouping questionnaire. So that is different from that grouping choice. So you have to choose the group that you would like to participate in the day schools and other tutor conducted events. So yeah, that's about the grouping choice, and you have to choose your group so that we will assign you your tutor, and you can participate in the day schools and according to your choice.
Yeah, students, it will be very easy if you do it very soon, because we have to group you all and assign a tutor for you all, right? And students, now listen. For the OQ, you have to study the whole first block, because we covered everything. Day school 1, day school 2, day school 3, we covered the whole block 1. So you have to study that, right? You don't think that you will get questions only from the book. That will not happen. This is a university test, right? That's not a, this may be the first test that you will be sitting at this university, right? So remember, students, you will not get questions that are in the book, the same questions. You will not get the same questions that are in the day school that was discussed. You will get different questions, right? So now if you were attending all the day schools properly, or you checked them and you studied the books, you had the books for a long time, the soft copies, you will be able to sit for the OQ test properly.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Yes.
I couldn't hear that because our Jisu tell me about the, I couldn't hear that about the algo about question. Can you repeat that?
Algo?
Yeah, algo on site.
Yeah, so you have to come for the, now on site, there are 3 sessions now. If there won't be any issue in the country, right, we will have an on-site session. Algorithms from 9 to 10:30. Then ER diagrams 11 to 12:30, lab 1. Then for AGM, a workshop will be held from 1:30 to 4 o'clock. So you have to come to the centers that you are aware of by now, no? You have to come to the centers.
What about question about in the algo?
Sorry?
What type of question in the algo asked?
It's not a test. There we are going to learn about algorithms.
Oh, okay.
But your attendance is important because marks will be given for the attendance.
Okay.
Okay, it's not a test as such. If you attend the algo session, it will be easy for you to do the TMA 1.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so students, that is what you need to remember. Yes, yes. Yes, of course, 9th or 19th, right? So it's just that you have to inform us where you will attend. Let's imagine now you are going to a center like Mana. So where not most of the students, like it will be only very few students are there, and we have to arrange a lecturer or a demonstrator there. So you have to inform us, right? If you say that you are coming to Colombo, of course we are ready. There are a lot of, everybody will be there, right? So you don't have to take a laptop. No, this is going to be everything going to be done on a piece of paper. Okay. You have to bring your books for each subject and pens, right? Anyway, we will provide A4 papers, bristle boards, and all those things. It's going to be like a workshop, right? So you can come and have some fun studying with others. Okay. So students, remember, I'm going to upload the first assignment and the mini project today. Mini project document and the TMA 1. Actually, I'm going to put a message also to students that it is highly recommended that you come to you attend the algo session, because then it will be easy for you all to do the first assignment. Okay. Okay, students. Then it's like this, Rashmika. So you are asking whether it's okay to not to sit for the OQ. It is your decision. Please don't tell that I said it's okay. I can't say that it's okay. You will have to do at least one of the activities, OQ or the CAT. Otherwise, you will lose marks. Or then if you miss one thing, it depends on you. You will have to take a risk. I can't say whether it's okay. If you get 100 marks for your CAT, yes, it might be okay. Okay. Okay, students, then if you don't have any other questions.
Excuse me, Miss.
Yeah.
is there any specification for the document structure, like a font size or any font?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, make it look very professional. That's what I can say, isn't it? Now we all are university students. Now think about it, how we can make it nicer. Are we going to have a font size of like Arial 40, Arial 30? No, right? So it should be usually it should be like 12 times New Roman would be good. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay. But you have to follow the report structure that is given. Okay, students. Then I think any other question that I have to answer? Okay, then students, please select your group. Please select your group today, okay? Yes?
So all the online IQ the MCQ. Oh.
We can't say like that. It can be MCQ. I don't know about other subjects. Don't ask about other subjects. I have told you that, right? If you want to clarify anything about another subject, please ask that from the relevant academic coordinator. For 3467, the OQ will be prepared. There won't be any essay questions. There will be multiple choice questions and other types of questions. But it's not an essay type where you don't have to write sentence and sentences. Okay? Yes. No, Ansita. This is, y'all are now very mature students. You can collect all the things and prepare. You know, students, when we did the mini project, right? We did it from the scratch, right? It is, for y'all, it's very easy now. We do discussion sessions. I never attended a discussion session because we have to study alone. This is like you are given the book, you study alone. That's it. Right? This is, you have to prepare for this. You are always expecting, like school, we will teach, use the spoon and feed you. That is not going to happen. Okay? Getting all these things into one document that is what you are going to do. That is what is your activity. Then you will learn. Okay? So studying here, that is, you might be thinking, okay, I'm talking like something very hard. No, it's not hard. It is easy. If you do it now, if you do it today, you will be able to get the degree with high colors, right? You will get the degree with high colors if you study, if you follow the method properly. Because Anushat, right? Anushat, now it's like this, Anushat. I can feed y'all. I can say, do like this, do like this, do like this. And when you go to the next level, you will be thrown to a place that you will not understand anything. No. It is not like that. Mini projects are not like that. Mini projects, it's your project. It's not unified. It's not uniformly you have to have this. Then it's like, those are like you do those things in Montessori, isn't it? Now you all are university students where you will have your own mini project structure. I have given the basic structure. According to that, you have to prepare your documents and come up with nice professional documents. That is your task.